All right. So let's start with the priorities. So in this section, in this series of 4 steps, I have created a flow where you will need to take a lot of action. Okay, and by the way, I was just looking for the perfect cover, and this is what I've got. Like, don't get offended by this because I know it's a little violent. It's a little bit sexual and things, but the intention is to resist the temptation. That's the whole idea. Because if you just take a look at it, um, there are 7 sins, right? For a human to commit, there are 7 sins. One is food, that's gluttony, lust, greed. uh, I don't know, you can go check it out in Wikipedia. So when I was just looking at the procrastination, anything is because people fall into the temptation of other side, and that is falling into the sins. So I thought this was pretty apt, or somewhat close to that. That's why I chose this anyway. So let's start with the step 1. Okay, the priorities. So priorities is like, I just really want you to get to a conclusion where what exactly is that you want to work on. Okay, once you understand what exactly is that you want in the coming days, weeks, months, years, then the trajectory is set, the direction is set. Because if without that, see, the thing is, yes, you already know it, you already know this is in your mind, it is somewhere in your mind, and it's been there for a while, right? Now it's time to take it out and make that as a reality, don't you? So for you to start and really make that into a manifestation, you need to get a real good clarity on the goals. Okay, so setting the goal, setting the priority, and you know what you need to devote or dedicate your time to. Okay, that is why I created this first chapter, that is the step 1, the priorities. Okay, so first, getting the direction. Second one is consequence, and after that I'm just going to break down a few things. All these 5 steps, very short, to the point, but it's all about you taking action. Take notes, finish it off, and don't watch the next video until you finish the actionables in this. And then watch the step 2, take it, finish it, take action, and then go to the step 3, and then go to the step 4. And by the step 4, you are ready to start, ready to rock, ready to roll. This might take one day, this might take few days, I don't know. But before you start, I really want you to finish off all of this and then start. Because I don't want you to fail, I don't want you to fall, I don't want you to derail from this entire thing. Whatever you've been procrastinating, whatever the habit that you want to start, whatever the the new routine that you want to build, everything is dependent on this. So before you start, I want you to be completely ready, finish off all the steps, like finish taking action on all the steps, like act on all the steps. Once you're done with step 4, when you're really ready, then let's go. Okay, so getting the direction. So you need to start defining the goal. Okay, so now that you have one goal, like, I see, look, you can have a lot of goals. You want to be a millionaire, you want to be settling down in somewhere, and you want to be the best in the world and everything. But how about next 1 year, if you can stay focused with one thing, just one thing, and that's it, just one thing. Okay, focus on that. So what is it? Is it the fitness? Is it the money? Is it the career? Is it the confidence as a person? What is it? What is the one thing? How do you get that? How do you understand what's the one thing that you want to work on, right? Simple. What is the most important or the most painful area in your life right now? Like right now, what's the most important thing? What is the one thing that is nagging you? What's the one thing that is giving you that itch on the roof of your mouth? What is the one thing that's all the time, that is like constantly making you feel bad, or I don't know what that is. Is it like becoming fit, achieving a good body, gaining the confidence? Is it setting a routine, or what is it? What's the one thing, right? Of course you need to fix the procrastination, but procrastination on what? That's the question. That is the primary thing. Okay, pause the video before I talk further. Pause the video and Get real good clarity on that. Put it in one line. Put in one line, this is what I want to work on. Because there's no looking back after this. There's no going back after this. All right. That's the first one. I'm sure you have done that. If not, pause it, do it again, and then let's move on to the next one. Cool. I believe that you have done it. The next one is choose one second desire. This is absolutely optional. Okay. But it's just like additional habit that you want to pick on, not the main focus, but it's good to have. It is nice to have, something, picking up a skill, a new hobby, new habit. Like you want to start with the workout. I want to work on my career, but I wanted to work on my body. Like just it's good to start working out and stuff like that. Just, again, this is optional. If you don't want to do it, that's okay. So how do you pick this? Again, it's second most painful area. Okay. So if you're single, then, and if you wanted to marry, or if you wanted to have a girlfriend or whatever, then you need to put in the work. So again, that is the second. If that is your first, then that's the first, and then whatever your second is your second. Okay. So your first desire and your second desire, this is set. Again, second is optional, but first one is set. Like you have to treat this as your baby. You need to put it very close to your heart, or probably inside of your heart. Okay. So yeah. Now, it can be about activities, relationship, situations, outcomes, anything. Okay. But you have to get absolutely clear with the specificity. That means, how do you write this one sentence? Now you have written a sentence, right? So now you have to, you need to get it into the specificity. If it is the work that you want to set, like let's say that you wanted to, starting a business, that is not a goal. You don't want to have that as your thing. Okay. Starting a business, that's a big thing. Starting a business means if you get registered, that's a starting, right? If you start working on your product, that is starting. If you start marketing, that is starting. If you start selling, that is starting. If you start, all of this is starting, but what is it, right? You have to get down to the specificity. Okay. So I'll give you the framework for setting this, but this is the thing. One sentence, one goal. I wanted to get a new job. That means, what is the new job? What is the position? And possibly in which company? If you can work on that, it's good. If you don't know, that's fine, right? Or if you want to get fit is not a thing. How much weight you want to lose, or how much weight you want to gain, and what is the kind of a look that you want to have, and how healthy you want to be, right? You wanted to reduce your cholesterol level, or you wanted to increase your muscle mass, or you wanted to reduce your fat level. I don't know, whatever that is. You have to be absolutely specific. And then the deadline. Okay. Deadline. By when? This one, don't just get into the thinking like, okay, I'm a god, I can do it. Like people just set some unrealistic deadlines. Like within 3 months, I wanted to get a six-pack and all. If you're 120 kgs and if you wanted a six-pack, 3 months is impossible. Okay. So set a deadline. After this, you will have it. But like after this video, you can do all of this, but you need to take a lot of notes on this. Okay. And after this, do it. Then specificity must be super quantifiable. Like I said, the specificity is like, either I wanted to gain 15 kgs, or I wanted to lose 20 kgs, or I wanted to, keep my stomach flat, or I wanted to get new job with this salary at this deadline. Like that, you have to get into that specificity. Okay. Without this, no matter how much work and effort that you put in after this, you're going nowhere. Because think of yourself like a ship, and the ship is getting out of the harbor, but unfortunately the ship doesn't have a destination. So if the ship doesn't have a destination, what happens? It'll be lost in some sea. It'll be lost in the sea. It'll be lost somewhere. It'll be wandering somewhere, right? Because it doesn't have a destination. So always think of yourself as a ship, and this is my destination. This is where I want to go. And that's why I told you the direction. It is important. Okay. So with that said, we are done with this, and let's move on to the next one. Set the deadline using the Parkinson's law. Okay. So it is nothing but the notion that the work expands as to fill the time available. So I'll just give you a basic example, right? I have all the materials for this, and I've had the knowledge on this, because I have built expertise on the procrastination for over, like I said, last 3 to 4 years I've been building the knowledge on this. I have all the materials, but that itself was procrastination, because I'm not doing it, I'm not executing it. And the reason I was not executing, because I didn't know that you needed this. Somewhere in my mind I knew it, but I took a survey and I was looking like what exactly you want from my people. Like, you could be one of them who have filled out the survey, and procrastination was like, I was like, oh my god, that I need to put in. That day I decided, and I told, okay, so within the end of this month. So I was just talking to my girlfriend, and I was like, within the end of this month I need to finish this. And I was like, wait a minute, what am I doing? What do you mean end of this month? How about the end of this week? First I thought end of this month. That's the first thing that came into my mind, right? Now what happened, for the last 6-7 days, I didn't go home. I was sleeping in my studio. I didn't meet my girlfriend. I didn't listen to music. I was barely eating anything, and I was barely sleeping. There was absolutely nothing. It's just coffee, tea, food, and work. Okay, I'm not trying to set a standard like I'm just working. So no, that's not the point. This is the normal. This is not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is, if I would have thought by the end of this month, obviously it'll be the end of this month. So this is the Parkinson's law. If you think like you need 5 days to clean your house, you need 5 days. If you think you need 2 hours to clean your house, 2 hours. That's what it is. So it's all about the set that the initial setting that you have. That is a deadline. So again, don't like I said, you have to be realistic, because certain things will take time. And when it comes to your body and health, it takes about 6 months to 1 year. When it comes to your job, it takes about 3 months tops, right? When new job, new promotion, or whatever. When it comes to building a business, it takes about 2 to 4 years, 5 years, right? It depends. So it really depends on what the deadline is. Now you need to set it accordingly, do a lot of research, do a lot of study, and then set the deadline. But once you set the deadline, you're not moving beyond that. You're not diverting from that. Okay, deadline is a deadline. Now the consequence. So the goal, you have a goal that you have set yourself. Now there is a goal, there is something standing in front of you, staring right at you. That is a goal that you want it to be. That is a life that you want to have. Correct? So what would happen, like if you achieve this, how will your life be? Okay, what area will get impacted? Positive or negative, doesn't matter, but you have to put in there, preferably positive. And if the positive is not very appealing, that's fine, but at least put a negative. But the negative has to be so strong, or the positive has to be so strong. Whatever it is, make it strong. Like the consequence of achieving that goal, consequence of doing your daily activity, consequence of not procrastinating. What is it going to give you, right? What happens if you don't accomplish this in this specified timeline? And don't just randomly vaguely put something. Okay, I want you to really push it to the limits. Let me just give it, like, let me just give an example. The goal that I want to have in the next 3 months is, I wanted to get a new job. Okay, and please, whatever your goal is, please listen to me like I'm talking about your goal. Okay, so I need a job in the next three months. All right, so 6 months was the ideal time. If I can really put in a sheer effort, I can get it done within 3 months. If that is a confidence that you have in your mind, then that's cool. Now, what happens when you don't accomplish this? If I don't accomplish this, if I don't get a new job in the next 3 months, what is going to happen? Not in the next 3 months, by the end of August, by the end of September 30th, you have to put in that time. Now, what happens if you don't get it? Don't get it, that means the reality is, yes, you're probably going to be in the same job, right? I don't know, same job, same life, there's no much change, and try harder, that's it. But the consequence that you need to, reinforce in your subconscious mind is, what can possibly happen? Like, what if I don't get this job? Or what if I'm fired from my existing job? What if I come home as a loser? What if people are going to look at me like that? What if my wife doesn't I don't know, what if my wife or a girlfriend doesn't, what if she loses my respect? Like, what if she loses the respect on me? Right? What if, like, if I'm not able to provide for my family? What if my kids are going hungry? What if my wife is divorcing me? You can push it. You can push it. These are the possible things that can happen, right? You can't say that it will never happen. That can happen. So I want you to push it to the maximum limits where things can happen. And then what is causing you the most amount of pain by you not achieving this particular goal? Now you need to start associating that. If you don't do this, that's what's going to happen. If you don't do this, that's what's going to happen. Now what happens is the association in your mind is getting stronger and stronger and stronger. That means you will be highly motivated to, look for a job. Even when you're in the restroom, you will start looking for a job because something else is waiting out there if you don't get the job, right? So you have to be really specific with the consequence. You have to put in the numbers or the things. I mean, these are a few mental hacks that I'm giving you, but it works great. Whatever is bringing you the maximum emotional impact for you to start with that particular task every single day, you need to take that as a consequence, put in the specificity, and start associating. So associating is the most important thing. Okay. So if you do this, you're going to get that. If you don't do this, you're going to get that. Whatever that is, that's a consequence. Okay. So write down the desire, its consequence, and deadline by date like this. Like desire, new job / promotion. What is a new job? Specificity, senior manager. Consequence can be anything, positive or negative. Can start building a new house for my family if you get the job, right? Or have to deal with the same dead-end job or the same boss, or like I told you, your family is going to live, right? You need to mention that. And by April 24th, 7 o'clock or 5 o'clock, I will have a job. Like, this is the most important part. I mean, all three are important actually, not this one, but yeah, 1, 2, and 3. These 3 should be there in your sentence. So in your one-liner of your goal, of your direction, of your priority, this one. So this means your top priority list until this particular date, your high priority, your super high fucking priority is this. And that's it. It's not your food. It's not your good time. It's not a chill. You can't nothing. You can't go and fucking chill with your friends you can't do it. Like, you are not supposed to do it until you get this. Okay. Like, I don't know if what you're thinking. Maybe I'm a little passionate about this shit. Okay. Yes, I am passionate about what I'm teaching you, but I'm setting a way, 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 way better standard over here than the mediocrity, because mediocrity is a fucking disease and you don't want that. So make sure you are reading this every single day. You are reading this. Now you have the desire, you have the consequence, and you have the date. Write it in one sentence. Okay. Type it in this format and print it out. Senior manager by April 24th to build a new house for my wife. Right? You need to write it like this. And you know what you need to do? You need to take a printout and paste it on the ceiling above your bed. That means until April 24th, April 24th is just a date, but until you get this job or until you build this house, you need to start seeing this every time when you go to sleep and every time when you wake up in the morning. And this literally programs the subconscious mind, which will activate the monster in you to take the fucking action. And you're going to do it. And you're going to be ferocious. You're going to be obsessed. You're going to be like a madman until you get this. And that's what I want for you. This is the only way for you to take your life forward. You got it? So this is the format. Write it in big bold letters and then take a printout. So write down the weekly and daily actionables in total. That means to get this job, okay, or to achieve your goal, you have so many months or so many years, correct? Now you need to break it down and put what are the weekly, daily actionables in total. That means you have to apply for a job every day and send in probably, responding back to the emails or getting in touch with the HRs or getting in touch with your network to look for a job. So you're going to do 3 or 4 things. So daily actionables in total. I want you to clearly write down what are the daily actionables to achieve the big one. So this is the big one. So for you to achieve the big one, you need small ones. This is the psychological weapon that I'm teaching you. All right, divide and conquer. So so weekly, how can I do it weekly? That means weekly, I'm going to apply for 200 jobs. I'm going to talk to 10 HRs, and I'm going to apply in consultancies or whatever, right? Weekly. So weekly, you have so many numbers. In that daily, how many are you going to do? And when are you going to do it? I mean, when, I will tell you. So this is the daily actionables. That means your next days and weeks is pretty much sorted with the actionables. Okay, break and break and break and break. That means you have to make it as simple as possible. Like I'm just going to apply for the job. That means what site, what is it? Like everything has to be very clear. Don't have anything in your mind vague. The daily chores should be simple. Open the laptop and start doing it. That's it. Okay, so weekly build is, okay, so this week I'm going to focus on applying for a job. That's activity number 1. Second week, I'm going to apply for the job and I'm going to talk to the HRs. Week number 3, I'm going to apply for the job, talk to the HRs, and even talk to my connection or whatever. This is how you want to build it, because all 3 activities or all 10 activities, whatever you want to do to achieve this, if you're going to do all of it on week 1 or day 1, within the first week, you're going to fall. So this, you don't want to do this. Like, you want to start slowly. If you want to get fit, then start by walking for a week number 2. And that's why this is exactly how I have designed it for you in FS90. Week number 1, just do this and that's it. Let the habit build. Let this routine build. Once you build on this, and then week number 2, you can build another one on this. And week number 3, you can build another one on this. So this is how it's a weekly habit, that the routine that you're going to keep building. Okay, this is the powerful way of building a routine. So what activities? Think, or probably judge the activities or the acts by high value, like daily high value activities. What is it? Something that moves the needle. Making a resume is going to move the needle, right? Talking to people, literally going and attending the interviews or getting the calls or calling whoever, in your goal what really requires to move the needle. And these are usually boring and these are usually hard. This is what you're supposed to do. So you have to be brutally honest with whatever you're writing down, because after finishing this, you have to have a page which has your big goal, the big one, with the date, with the emotional consequence in it. That's number 1, absolute clarity. Number 2 is, what are you going to do? Like, how much are you going to accomplish weekly, and what exactly are you going to do daily? What exactly are you going to do daily? Okay, you need to have this. This is the whole point of getting in the first chapter. Okay, so with that said, we're done. Thanks for learning. In case if you have not done it, go back, watch it again, and then move on to the next one where we are setting the schedule. I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.